Welcome back to Gals and Goblins, everyone. It is time for part 2 of the Dwarven Bachelor. As always, we are joined by Lily Percifield and Campbell Duffy, and the lovely Kelly DeWindt is joining us here to play with us and to tell us all about the Tabletop Town app. Last we left off, Nori, Muriel, and Jex had just gotten their first chance at winning Petrilla Stonebrow's heart by defeating a pair of alchemical skunks in combat through teamwork, clever thinking, and maybe a little bit of animal rights protesting. As our contestants headed back to the mansion to get ready for their one-on-one date, our production assistants seemed to be trying to stir the pot by inspiring each contestant to sabotage one another. Do we think they'll cave or stay true by winning Petrilla's heart fair and square? Find out soon on today's episode of The Dwarven Bachelor. Okay, see you soon. And they kind of shoo you off into like these magic like dressing rooms where you get to pick kind of any outfit that you would like. You guys get dressed and you come out and Mayhem.
Are any of us wearing bright colors?
I'm about to tell you.
Oh, sorry. I'm so invested.
You actually get to decide that. Mayhem's gonna go down the line, just kind of like look you guys over to make sure you're presentable for television. Jex, what did you decide to wear if you wore anything?
I think I'm wearing things out of deference to like other people's sensibilities, and like I don't want to get my entire body like blurred because I'm not wearing clothing.
This whole time, what they're seeing at home is like just like the pixelated like body.
Yeah, just pink pixels. That's it. I think I am going with like not earth tones, but I'm going with metallics.
Okay.
Kind of like muted kind of metallics, and like if it's truly like anything, then kind of like woven through as like highlights or like actual strands of metal as like embroidery and decoration. And if I can, I would love dwarven runes that like kind of line the edges of the clothing, and I'm going for ones that are family, loyalty, trust, like foundation, love, attraction, beauty, like grace, like piling everything on that I
United
can
States.
Basically.
Fertility.
Basically. Oh, 100% fertility's in there, but it's like kind of hidden at the back, so you have to like...
Yeah, it's a tramp stamp.
Oh my god.
Fertility, just,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And Jex speaks
Jex
Dwarven,
has never
right?
heard, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and has never heard the word subtle in their life. So, is kind of like piling it on. I think on like the like part of like, and the lapels coming down, interlocking gold strands that like mimic Petrilla's braids. Clear like homage and like tribute that like fade into the rest of the thing. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Wonderful.
good. That is good stuff.
The joys of speaking Dwarvish.
Yeah.
Mayhem gives you like a double thumbs up and is like, yeah, Jex, great. And then next in line is going to be Muriel.
Muriel is wearing a black floor-length silky gown that looks like ink, almost like clinging to her. It's very simple. That's it.
Mayhem's going to give you 1 thumbs up. And then Nori, what are you wearing?
I give him a half thumbs up back. Just to undercut him a little.
Oh, okay. It hurts. You see it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
it hurts him.
So Nori is wearing like a black slip dress, but that's just the underpinnings of this woven one-sleeved dress, and it goes all the way to the floor, and it is woven in the exact same way that I weave fishing nets at home. Woven throughout the dress are different shells that I have like collected from the beach. I've also added like a little gold fish hook to my ear.
Mayhem gives you 1 thumbs up.
It's fine, I'll take it.
At least it wasn't half.
Aaron is going to lead y'all out to a little foyer area, and you guys are instructed to stand in like a little semicircle, like shoulder to shoulder or shoulder to knee or wherever you guys line up.
Our proportions.
And then that booming voice of bliss starts again in the room. Our wonderful contestants have had opportunities to sell their sizzle, but now someone will serve the steak. Tonight, Petrilla will choose one person to accompany her on a private dinner date without the distractions of our other contestants. The pair will be able to really get to know each other. Will this form a deeper connection? Or will it be revealed that they just don't fit? Find out on this episode of the Dwarven Bachelor. And in front of you, you see Petrilla is like let out by Aaron Mayhem, looking very nervous, but now she's kind of in a floor-length brown, but like has golden like threads and like shimmer kind of running through it. Floor-length gown, still with like ornamental armor pieces, like a pauldron over on her left shoulder, kind of creating like a asymmetrical silhouette. And she doesn't have her war hammer anymore. You can just tell she's pretty much uncomfortable with like everything that's happening. And she looks at, she's like, hello there again. Okay, I have to, and she pulls out like, it looks like a rose, but instead of where the flower would be, it's like a war hammer. So it's like an extra long like war hammer. She's like, I have to give this to one of you, and then the other two have to go sit in a room while I talk to the other one. Seems like it breeds distrust. I don't know. Okay. And you can see, everybody roll a perception check for me.
16.
9.
8.
Nori, you're going to be the only one who you can tell Petrilla's eyes kind of flit over to Bliss, Mayhem, and Aaron, who were like in the shadows kind of behind Bliss. And then she goes,
Before she decides, can I do a talking head?
yeah.
Okay. Did I come here looking for love? Maybe. But I found something more important. Animal activism. Activism. The shot of us lined up shoulder to shoulder, strips of Muriel's black dress fall away to reveal neon green stripes up and down. The back, like, skirt of her dress poofs out with neon, like, magically fluorescent green fur, almost creating a tail as it trails down to the floor. And from the hem of her skirt beneath her feet, multicolored smoke poofs out and floods the stage, and she walks up and stares directly into one of the cameras. The eradication of alchemical skunks is a plague on this realm, and I'm here to stop it.
Roll. You can either do persuasion or performance.
Okay, I will do persuasion.
And you can do it with advantage.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the talking head. Oh, kind of bad. Well, 16.
As you're kind of giving this speech, the minute you finish, you hear, Muriel, I choose you for the one-on-one.
Perfect.
So how this is going to work is Petrilla and Muriel are kind of whisked away into the lawn where like a little picnic has been set up for you to sit. There's a lot of pillows to get very comfy. Jex and Nori, you guys are like just like escorted back to like the like living room area of the house, but it's like it's pretty like in full view of you guys where this picnic is happening. Like it's kind of far so you can't see details, but like enough that you can see everything that's happening. So basically, we're gonna cut back and forth like they would in the actual show. Mm-hmm. We're gonna start with Petrilla and Muriel, but you guys be thinking, because this, when I cut back to you guys, it starts a sabotage round. If you would like to partake.
Okay.
Petrilla sits down across from you and doesn't want to like look you in the eye and is like,
Look, Petrilla, I'm sorry if I ruined your whole skunk thing. That wasn't your idea, was it?
maybe they're pests around here, so I just thought it'd be
That's
nice.
what people think.
Well, the farmers might have something different to say, and the miners, but you know, I liked it. It was bold. You told the man off, and that's sometimes what matters, you know. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, you know so much about me already. I want to know about you. I heard you love bright colors. The other contestants told me to wear the neon green.
Roll a persuasion check.
Shit. 12. I have +8 to persuasion. That was a 4. Oh, I needed to roll good on that. Oh well, okay.
Oh.
Is her insight good? Well, you're not gonna tell me.
Which of them told you that? Both of them?
Yeah, I think, we all seem to. Do
you know where it's like originated from?
Oh, do you not love neon colors?
I don't want to speak ill of what you're wearing, but no, I quite hate them. I like despise them. Like they fill me with like a rage of like my thousands of ancestors and stuff.
I can't believe they told me to do this. That's so strange. Anyway,
But it was both of them, not like together. Like they both approached you. There wasn't like a leader of the pack. Because in my experience, there's always a leader.
you know what? I agree. And now that I think about it, Nori was definitely seemed like she kind of was
I can't believe
bringing
you.
Jex in on it.
Jex helped. Jex seemed to know.
Jex seemed to know. Yes. I just feel like I'm kind of getting like ganged up on in the house.
Yeah, that's quite horrible.
Really, enough about me. I want to hear about you and your life and your family. And do you have a lot of siblings? Tell me about what life under the mountain is like.
Oh, I just love talking about myself on a public format.
Oh, yeah, I kind of don't like it either. I'm used to staying in the shadows and sneaking around, so I kind of did this as a little bit of exposure therapy. Find love in front of millions. Anyway, I'm nervous too. You can just say anything.
Maybe that's why I chose to do this. Well, if you like sipping in the shadows, you might like Under the Mountain. And then Petrilla's gonna take a sip of water as she starts sweating, and we're gonna cut over to Jex and Nori.
Oh my god. She is here for all the wrong reasons. This is not a format for your activism. This is a place to find love. That was a really shellfish move.
Well, I just think it's fascinating that, it feels like she really kind of took advantage of the situation. I mean, does activism is it performative like that? It was very much a chance of like stealing the limelight at the end. I don't know. I don't want to think ill of her, but it felt very pick me.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's not saying anything bad about us, though. I mean, like, we were all kind of had the same information and we're working from the same basis, and we bonded. We had a whole moment about bonding, about how everyone, like, it felt like all the PAs were trying to turn us against each other, and we really stood strong. So I'm glad she's just having a good time.
Yeah, I'm glad none of us took a cheap shot at the others. I can't, we're really playing this clean,
Yeah, I think that's the real, like, true form of activism here, is like standing up against like the drama they want us to create, and like being friends and being like, yes, we're here for love, but we're gonna find it on our terms.
We're here for Petrilla, not for shellfish reasons.
It really got me the second time. I don't know what it was about the repetition of shellfish, but the second time it really got me. That joke
I wasn't sure
well
if you
under
heard
pressure.
I wasn't sure if you heard it the first time. I wasn't sure if you heard it the first time. Oh my god.
They just keep coming. You're just so talented at that.
Well, how are you feeling? Like, how do you think Petrilla feels about you right now? I personally feel like you really impressed her during the fight.
I thought I impressed her, but then, neon green appeared, and then suddenly, oh no, let's go with the skunk activism.
That's exactly how I felt. I really thought it was you at the top, me in the middle, Muriel on the bottom. I really thought you were going to get chosen for this one-on-one.
Do you always like being on the bottom?
Never. I'm usually on top, Jex.
No, that's the vibe I was getting. I was just curious about that.
What about you, Jex?
Oh, I'm good for whatever. I'm really flexible.
As you guys are talking, Aaron kind of appears in the corner and is gonna like waggle a finger at you. Oh, sorry, did I scare you? Nori, could you just come here a minute? I just have something to tell you.
Yeah.
And kind of the minute that Nori goes up to talk to Aaron, mayhem like pops up. I imagine you guys were like at the counter, like talking to each other. Mayhem like pops up like on the other side of the counter in front of you, Jex.
Oh my god.
I think I had to be sitting on the counter so that I'm even remotely eye level with Nori.
Hey, Jex. I really thought you had a connection with Petrilla out there, don't you think?
Oh, I did too. It was really surprising, honestly. But, whatever makes her happy.
Well, the way Muriel swooped in and kind of stole Petrilla from you was, I know I can't say this on TV, but fucked up, I just don't want Petrilla to forget about you. If you need to do anything to be memorable, even though they're on a one-on-one, you let me know, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm pretty good at being memorable. There's not a lot of people like me, so yes, I would love to make more of an impression.
Should we make Muriel need to go to the bathroom? Should we say her
Can you
family's
do that?
dead? What should we do?
What? I feel like her family's dead is just gonna give, and then it's like everybody's gonna feel bad. And first of all, I don't want to, that seems a little extreme here. But also, I don't know if that would really, I don't know, if someone just randomly told me their family, like, that found out their family was dead, wouldn't you want to give all your attention devoted to, like, helping them?
Jex, this is why you're looking for love and not me, because you are great at this. So we should make her...
Is love always about sabotage?
Yes. That's what I say, the number one...
That's what I've been doing wrong!
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people say it might be compromise, but really it's sabotage. And that is a mayhem special.
I'm just not enough of a selfish lover. Got it.
Yeah, that's what I actually came here to tell you. So should we make Muriel, like, need to pee herself, or...
Again, why do you go to that first? That's a bold move.
Love is bold.
Question about the picnic area.
Uh-huh.
Is there a, like, fountain of some kind?
Oh, yeah. There's a water feature in the pool that's behind them, kind of.
Behind them?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is facing the pool?
In my head, how I had it set up, to be honest to that, Muriel's facing the pool and Petrilla's back is to the pool. I'm going to let you... Oh, you got it? I was like, I'll give you time to think if you want.
I will come up with specifics in a minute. Yeah.
Great. We're going to cut over to Aaron and Nori. Nori. I got to be honest. I can hear what they're talking about out there, and it is...
Give it to me straight, Doc.
No.
It's, she is saying that you told her to wear bright colors because that's what Petrilla really likes. And I'm not saying that me and Mayhem, like, gossip about everything, but Mayhem let me know that he told you earth tones were in, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mayhem told me that she really appreciated earth tones, and that she wasn't as into bright colors, but...
Did you tell Muriel that?
No, not at all. I use that information for myself. I'm playing a clean game here.
Well, not everybody is, I don't think.
She lied about me to Petrilla?
Yeah, I mean, she also lied about Jex too, so Jex isn't innocent either, but yeah, she said you were the ringleader and she feels ganged up on, and I think Petrilla believed her.
She knew we were competition. She knew she was on the bottom. She knew we were competition, so she did that to take us out.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
Yeah. 13.
What's the truth?
You see, like, as you're saying this, you guys have realized that you haven't really seen many cameramen. Like, when you've intentionally looked for them, they've just somehow appeared, but other than you haven't really noticed. You notice there's a little glimmer of, like, a facade in front of you, like the air glimmers a little bit, and you can tell that this camera is, like, right in your face as you're saying this. Just a glimmer, and then you can't tell.
But I know it's there.
Yeah, now you do.
I'm still looking at Erin, but since I know the camera is there, I'm gonna kind of get a little worked up. I just can't believe that she would intentionally sabotage the other two of us when we've been nothing but nice to her. I can't believe she would do this.
I know, that
and
is...
a single tear rolls down my face.
Oh, do you want a tissue? And then Erin
Yes,
pulls
please.
a tissue out of her, like, PA pack.
Oh, yes, please, I doubt it away. But another one falls. I just can't catch him.
Do you need a moment?
I'm emotional.
Should we turn the cameras off?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can leave the cameras on.
What was that?
The cameras.
Oh, I thought you said. Never mind. Maybe I was just being insensitive. Are you gonna do anything about this? Are you gonna let it happen? You can go out there and stop this date right now. I'll help you.
She loves the drama.
Just...
Erin is the one who started this all.
We're gonna cut back to
Okay.
Jex.
Okay.
And Mayhem is like, Jex, what do you got? What do you got? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm so chill about this. I don't care. We don't have to do anything.
Do you know how Petrilla feels about swimming?
Not a big
fan?
Not a big fan.
Okay, then we'll go to plan B.
Unless, wait, do you want me to check on that? I'm kind of making shit up. Do you want me to, like, actually check?
Well, like, if we can get her into the water both of them in the water, then I have some options. But if we don't, that's fine. I can make this work.
No, let me hang on. Let me look at my clipboard. I was just pulling that out of my ass. Oh yeah, actually it turns out that her family summers in the lake region. So yeah, I lied to you, but I'm a PA.
But you never have before and you never will again, right?
Oh yeah, that's actually what I meant by I'm a PA. So
yeah, I completely understand.
Jex, I'm glad you get me. So what's the deal? We throwing them in?
Again, we don't have to be quite that violent. I was thinking, and tell me how you feel about this. I can either kind of like lure them into the water and then I can have some fun with that. Or you don't know what she's saying, do you? You like, there's no way for you to hear any of this. This is all completely like safe information, right?
Like what she's saying or like what you're saying to me right now?
Well, I know, I'm hoping you can hear what I'm saying to you right now, because if not, we have a bigger communication problem and I want to work on that with you. But if you can't hear what I'm saying, but if you can, I was talking about, you can't hear what Muriel's saying, right? Like we don't know if the date's going well?
I know what she's saying. I have a little earpiece in my ear. I know what's going on over there.
Now, I don't want you to betray any confidences. I completely understand everything we say here is completely private, obviously. So you think it's going well? Can you tell me that?
It's going
or is that, like,
well for
Muriel?
It's going well for Muriel. It's really going well for everyone. She's really talking you up, Jex, and you can make an insight roll.
I would love to make an insight roll.
Mayhem.
Nat 20. 23, baby.
You see right through Mayhem's little lies.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not hiding it well.
Mayhem, if there's one thing I can always count on, it's for you to be totally straight with me, and I really appreciate that. I feel like you're the only one here I can really trust. So, with that in mind, if she is like talking me up, which is so sweet of her, I knew it. So then I think, what if I don't want then her to know that it's me, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna try to be kind of a little sneaky about it. And I'm going to minor illusion behind Petrilla's head so Muriel can see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna say, I'm gonna like spell out the words, I know what you said.
Ooh, great. On that, we're gonna cut. Unless is that like, did you have more? Like, if you want to explain kind of like steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. It's very much gonna be like, I know what you said, and I know what you did. You're a liar. And then at the moment that Petrilla like turns around at all, it's going to completely vanish.
Great.
But then if that's not enough, there's going to be a little cartoon skunk. Like just illustrating of like walking along and then like slowly like morphing into Muriel and her dress. And
this is incredible.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my god, I'm gonna think I'm tripping balls.
We're gonna cut to Nori.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking? What do you want to do with this information? I am here to help. I'm here to serve.
I would like to sneak out into the garden somewhere. I'm gonna be stealthy about it. Don't worry.
Okay, that's good. Are you stealthy?
Without my armor on, yeah.
All right.
And I'm gonna cast a little spell over there real quick. Is that all right with you,
Yeah.
Aaron?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
hold down the fort.
Thank you.
You stealth out there.
Preferably within like 30 feet, maybe.
Yeah, go for it. You just go down. There's a little path made of like white gravel. Take that, and you'll end up right behind where Muriel is. And they won't be able to see you. Does that work?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let you stealth
Okay.
there. We're gonna do that first.
Oh, can I talking head?
Yeah.
Okay. I see that we weren't all on the same page about playing this as a clean game. We're not all here for the same reasons. God, this is one shell of a place. Usually I don't give in to peer pressure, but I'm gonna give Muriel a taste of her own medicine real quick.
You have advantage on your stealth.
Okay. Thank God. That was the first one was a 5. 14.
You go undetected.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth on their conversation.
Oh my god. Now I have to think of what my truth is.
That is genius.
Great.
Wait, can I roll to perceive her?
No.
No.
Not
Fine.
with how this is
Fine.
working.
Okay, no, but seriously, I have to. What is?
Okay.
What is my truth?
Actually, you are. Does it just cast? Because they're supposed to make charisma.
Yeah, you can make the charisma save.
That's 9.
Shoot. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
As Lily, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna silvery barbs that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Chance with the assist.
So I just reroll.
I do have to.
Or you.
Yeah, and you have to take you re-roll, and you have to take the lower one.
But I don't reroll twice. I just reroll and I take the lower of either the 19 or the new one.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Bad. 7.
Um,
Oh, you fail. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
What happens to me? Hold on. Oh,
something.
creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against any spells I cast in the next minute.
Let's go. Let's go.
You have only been rolling good things.
I know.
I don't know how.
Yeah, okay.
So do I just start speaking the truth?
Will you read Zone of Truth?
You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on the point of your choice within range, centered on your 2 chairs.
Yeah.
Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell area for the first time. Oh, hold on. Okay.
I think it's
It
just
doesn't say like a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Okay.
Yeah.
so you can like skirt around things. You don't have
But
to
I don't know
only
it's
tell
there.
the truth.
You don't know that you are under the zone of truth.
Yeah.
Like there's no visible effect.
No.
Okay.
So you
Ooh.
you can skirt around the truth, but I feel like that would be metagaming.
No, yeah, I won't.
Yeah.
I just have to think of what my truth is.
What do
Yeah.
you got, Kelly?
Yeah. I would like to another minor illusion. Have I been able to tell? Do they all basically have in-ears? Like, especially because Mayhem said I have like a little thing in my ear.
Yeah.
Sweet. I would like to mimic Mayhem's voice and minor illusion a whisper into Petrilla's ear
Okay, great.
and make it sound like she's getting new information. And I'm going to say, she lied to you. Ask her again who told her about the bright colors. Or
Great.
ask her again about the bright colors. Do I have to deception or something?
Let's go.
No, I'm gonna say that works because Petrilla is like not thinking anybody's like working against her necessarily. We're gonna cut to Muriel and Petrilla basically. So here's how this works. Muriel, you are having, a fine dinner. Petrilla's like kind of blubbering and like trying to figure out what to say. Vaguely telling you about her family, and then over Petrilla's shoulder, you see exactly what Jex described, which is like, I believe it was, I know what you did.
I know what you.
I
I
know-
know what you said. I know what you did.
And
Cartoon
then
skunk.
the cartoon skunk morphing into you, and then I believe an accusation of you being a liar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that appears like over the shoulder. I imagine it's like in my head, I imagine it's like, on your phone, how you can like have the words scroll across.
Yes,
So you kind of have to like wait for it. So you like have to like look really hard.
Yeah, so I'm definitely distracted. My skin is like a really rich indigo color, but if it could go pale, whatever that would look like kind of desaturated.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cameras like definitely pick up on her kind of like blanching.
Yeah, and you were just overtaken with like the strong urge that like you're gonna tell the truth from this point on in the conversation, and then you see Petrilla kind of like make a movement that kind of cocks her head a little bit, like she's listening to something, furrow her brow, and she's gonna look at you, Muriel. I was just wondering again, I couldn't quite remember who told you about the neon color, bright color thing. You said it was Nori?
No, it wasn't Nori. It was Erin, who spells her name with an A and an E, which is a stupid way to spell Erin, and I don't care if that's insensitive. She told me that you hated neon colors and encouraged me to sabotage the other contestants by telling them to wear neon colors, but I told her that I wasn't going to sabotage anyone. But soon I realized that my only way to more screen time, to support my animal activism cause, was to continue developing my relationship with you. So I sabotaged Aaron and Nori and Jex all at once by promising not to sabotage anyone and then telling you that they encouraged me to wear bright colors.
Damn. You zoned that truth for sure.
At this point, she kind of, at the end of that last sentence, like, I'm, like, trailing off, kind of like, and, like, then I, like, I clamp my hands over my mouth after this much time, I have realized that I have been compelled to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And I look at Petrilla just, like, eyes wide. And I start looking around for wherever you two are. Now can I roll to see where Nori is? Yeah, okay. Is that insight? Or not insight, perception?
Yeah, perception.
I got a 2. So, yeah, it's a 4. So I look around wildly for them, and I, like, think back over everything I just said, and, like, the only cover I have is, like, it was all Aaron's idea.
Petrilla is gonna look at you and shake her head, but she also kind of has tears in her eyes.
Wait,
so you're saying that you don't really care about finding love or anything?
no, I do. Listen, what I said earlier was true. Is the zone of truth still going?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived my whole life in the shadows, hiding from people because I was too scared to show them who I really was, and I thought that if I came on, this is true. I thought that sorry, Campbell's shaking her head.
I know, it's just a good recovery.
This is true. I thought that if I came on the Dwarven Bachelor and I was able to be vulnerable and get to know someone in front of millions of people, then it would be good exposure for me. And I really do find you beautiful and strong. But do you know what? The fact that you would pit a bunch of qualified warriors against those skunks, it is the only attribute that mars your beauty to me. And I can't believe that you would do this. I look to I give face to the camera and I say, we must start incorporating non-violent solutions into solving the infestation of the invasive species known as alchemical skunks.
As you're doing this, Petrilla, she looks like she was going to say something to you, but then when you turn to the camera, she just shakes her head and kind of storms off, upset. You can kind of hear, like, the silent, like, sobs and sniffles.
Oh, no!
As she runs away, and you can kind of hear the, like, you can kind of hear, like, hushed anger from the direction that she went, and you, like, Aaron just, like, pops up and is like, hi, Muriel. Yeah, we need to go inside right now. Come on. And, like, shoos you inside.
I struggle to stay on camera, and I say, I did find love of skunks.
Muriel, that camera has been off since your speech started.
No!
Damn.
How much did they hear?
Tune in and find out when we air it in a few days. Come on, and it's like dragging you inside,
Okay.
and then as she's dragging you, she does turn to where Nori has snuck, and it's like, Nori, come on, like very like much giving you away to Muriel.
I straighten up behind the bush I was hiding behind.
Oh, that was you. Real clever.
I could say the exact same thing to you right now.
Thank you. At least you know everything I said was true.
You guys get dragged back inside where Jex has been hanging out. Jex, can you roll me a deception check?
Is this for when I was whispering in Petrilla's ear, or just?
This is just like in general.
In general?
Like this
Okay,
is just
cool.
for my
23.
point system. Oh wow. Wonderful.
I'm a charismatic little Jello.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would be the Jello has riz. Sorry. You guys are corralled in the room. Aaron and Mayhem, like, they look shaken. They look like maybe they got scolded. And Bliss Harrington kind of storms into the room. Contestants? Well, it looks like Petrilla doesn't want to do this anymore. Something has really upset her, and then Claire staggers at Muriel. I'm not naming names, but we have convinced her that if we choose the winner in the next 5 minutes, that maybe she can get through this and we can have our TV episodes. So, speed round, instead of a few hours, you guys have 5 minutes. You're gonna craft a token of your love for Petrilla. We're gonna present them, and then she's gonna choose the love of her life, and that's gonna be that. Sound good, everyone?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
In 5 minutes? Okay.
5 minutes. Yeah, you got this, Jex. Any questions? Mayhem and Aaron here are certainly going to help you get all the tools you need to make your crafts. On your mark, get set, go, because we have to go set up the other room. And Bliss storms off, and Mayhem and Aaron are just like standing there, and they're like, yeah, so you guys need any help? I would say chop chop. We don't have long. So, what are you guys going to build?
I need twine.
Okay.
I need a bag full of valuable jewels and a bag full of seashells.
Okay. Aaron takes off. Aaron takes off running and comes back in like a minute with all of this stuff.
Oh, sweet.
Done. Who else needs anything? Mayhem would love to go get it for you. Yeah. What do you guys?
All right.
Need?
Can I have a big 5-foot cube of water? You can bring it in a container. That's fine.
Yes.
And then gold and platinum threads.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. And then I'm also going to get in on that gem thing. So just more gems.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
Yeah. Perfect. Mayhem saunters away, but is back in 30 seconds with all this stuff. And then they both look at you, Muriel, and they're like, what are you going to craft?
I need paint.
Okay.
I need a poster board.
Okay.
And I need a big old wooden picket.
Oh my god!
Do you have any pitchforks? Maybe a
we can find
torch?
Torches not allowed. No open flame on television. That's what they always say. They just snap and those things appear in front of you.
Oh, and some glitter.
No glitter. I'm so sorry. That is the one thing that they say we can't have. I know the skunk glittered you guys, but that's in the Coliseum, in the mansion. No glitter.
Can I intimidate them?
Sure. Intimidation for glitter.
Oh, I thought my intimidation was way better than it was when I said that. 21. Are you in the business of helping people find love or not? I need glitter now.
You can see that the glamour in front of the cameras kind of shimmers, and the cameras are closing in on Aaron and Mayhem, and they're like, no, of course. We want you to find love, and they pull glitter out of their pocket, they've had it there the whole time.
That's what I thought.
And they hand it to you.
More water.
Coming right up, they give you more water. You guys have time to craft and hide your token of love however you need to, and then you guys are shuffled away back into that foyer area, gathered in your little semicircle. Petrilla, her eyes a little red, but not crying anymore. She did have an outfit change. Now she's in a maroon. Interesting. So a little more red, a little more color. She is gonna stand. She's standing solemnly in front of you all. Okay, present your tokens of love. Muriel, you'll go first.
Petrilla, it has finally become clear to me that I have to make an important choice. You know I told the truth about 2 things earlier.
Mm-hmm.
My love and admiration for you, and the fact that I love those skunks.
So true.
And I know that I can't have both. I unveil my token. It is a wooden picket sign that one would carry at a strike or a protest, and on the front of it, in beautiful, glittery green and black, is the image of an alchemical skunk, and scrawled in like red, bold letters, it says, "Save the skunks."
Beach, please.
I've made my choice.
Petrilla holds her hand out awkwardly because you're supposed to give it to her.
I hand it to her.
And Petrilla is gonna spike a camera and give like a closed mouth.
Wait, if she's holding it, can she read the back of it? Like if she's holding it up?
Yeah.
On the back, it says, "I'm sorry, Petrilla."
You see, she did have a closed lip smile, and then seeing that on the back, she lets a little teeth show and a little chuckle. Roll a...
Can I roll to persuade the people of the realm?
Well, the show's gonna be edited, so...
I guess I thought this was live. Okay.
Kinda, but kind of also...
Can I roll to persuade Petrilla that I really do have admiration for her and feel love in my heart, but that I have a duty to something higher than myself, and it is this cause of environmentalism.
Mm-hmm.
To advocate for an invasive species harmful to the ecosystem. 13. Kind of a lukewarm number 13. Lukewarm roll for this climactic moment of my character.
You're kind of shuffled away back to the line, so you can't really get a read. Petrilla kind of blushes and then goes, well, I guess next we can see what you got, Jex.
Mine has a bit of a presentation. Hold on, I don't want anyone to get hurt. And I'm gonna go into a back room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast a spell really quick, so let me see what happens.
Okay, perfect.
Come on, let me keep going. Hell yeah, baby, I regained hit points.
Yeah!
What the heck? This is seriously the best stress-free wild magic run I've ever seen.
I played 2 wild magic characters with Lily and Olivia, and every time I roll, I've traumatized them.
It's always bad.
This is insane that this is going so well.
I just got 6 hit points, which doubled my current hit point count.
You have 6? Oh, current, not total.
I'm now sitting at 14. So not quite doubled, but close. So I'm like, whoo, okay.
Wow.
Okay. Coming in, I cast Earthen Grasp. So the giant stone hand is following me because I can move it along the ground. And it is carrying a replica of Petrilla's Warhammer made out of ice and laced through with gold threads. And then it's gonna come up right to her and smash it right into the ground at her feet. And I want to minor illusion little extra ice sparkles as it goes away, and it resolves into the biggest one of the gems that they could find. And then I reshape the hammer around it because shape water is just a cantrip.
That's awesome.
And I present her own hammer. And it dwarven runes again, but this time it's just trust and loyalty. Going all the way around.
No fertility?
Fertility is still a tramp stamp on my back. Yeah. She'll see it when I walk away.
That one.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I I hate to see him leave, but I love to watch him go.
Yeah. No one knows how Jex can reproduce, but she's making a good selling point that they can.
Be mad at me if you want, but I'm not even gonna make you roll for that because that was impressive.
That was amazing.
Campbell's
water
mad.
is such a broken cantrip.
That was beautiful. Actually, roll a perception for me.
14.
You do see that Petrilla is genuinely moved by this gift, which you would know that dwarves are not often the dwarves like to give gifts to each other, so that means a lot for her to actually be moved by this gift, and a little tear of joy and at the beauty of this display trickles down her cheek.
Extend a pseudopod up and wipe it. Gently.
Nice.
Damn.
Smooth moves.
That's good.
Jex like mini struts back. Like, yeah.
And Petrilla sees the fertility tramp.
Does she love it?
Yeah. She's like, nice. Now it's Nori's turn.
It's a hard one to follow. I feel like
You're gonna do great.
my offering is a little more humble, Petrilla. I have made you 2 traditional wedding cloaks that we use in my village. They're knitted a little more ornately than our fishing nets, but they represent protection and loyalty. And sorry, I'm getting a little emotional.
Oh,
God
come on.
it.
But earlier, when I heard that you had been lied to, that my character had been infringed upon, I couldn't stand by and let you be deceived. I want you to know that I will always, high tide or low tide, I will be by your side.
Ooh. Bars.
And that I will always, I know that you are a capable and powerful warrior, but I will always be by your side, fighting right along with you. So I give you this cloak, and it's like beautifully crocheted, and it is inlaid with gems around kind of the collar and the edges of the cloak, and then the same seashells that were on my dress earlier are also kind of throughout the netting. I'm not ready to wave goodbye.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
It was a 15 and a 15.
You also see Petrilla is pretty moved by this gesture, and she takes them in her hand. I will cherish these as part of... It's wonderful that you're sharing your culture. Wow. So maybe I called this too early, but it seemed like there was a bad seed amongst you, you know. And you kind of get shooed off back to your spot. And she sets her gifts off to the side, and she rubs her hands together, and she goes, all right, well, now the moment that everybody's been waiting for. We all know Dwarven culture, and you know what time it is? Accounting of the sins.
Oh. Can I do a talking head? Wait, are we going to be rolling for anything, or is there no point?
No. I'm literally going to count every sin you've made in the episode. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your wonderful presentations. You're all very talented, some more than others. I have something to present as well. So we all know working together is very important to my people, and the clan is placed above the individual. Dwarves still bicker, though, so grudges can fester. Some dwarves take to writing these grudges down in a personal diary of sorts, and later clearing the air with public accounting of the sins. And the producers and PAs have been watching everyone this whole time, and they have put together this book of grudges, and I have been asked to read it, and I haven't seen it yet, so here we go. We're going to start with Nori, because your list looks to be the shortest.
Yes.
This one seems a bit problematic, but I am scared of water, and you made a very watery entrance.
Yes.
But that's fine. I don't hold it against you. You didn't know that. Oh, and it says here that you also snuck out during the one-on-one date.
It was for your own protection. It was to protect you from being deceived.
Oh, it says here making horrible puns. We do consider that a bit of a sin. But that might be a personal one for me. I know it looks like I'm writing it in right now, but I'm not. Don't worry about it. Your list was pretty short.
Those are all my sins, and I think I did pretty good.
Oh, you did flirt with Jex right when you got here.
It was just a little fun for the cameras. I'm sorry.
The sin does not lie.
Okay.
Next, we got Jex. Hello, little Jex. You did try to sabotage Muriel, and you scared her a bit with those little words behind my shoulder, apparently is what this is saying here. But, I don't really hold that against you. That was kind of fair. That was kind of for me, but, still considered a sin. Oh, you did deceive me. How was you whispering in my ear?
I was just trying to make sure that you know what was happening.
That's kind of fair too. Oh no, they put this one on the wrong one. Oh, that one goes straight to Muriel. That's all for you, Jex. Really not bad. Okay, the heftiest list of all. Muriel. I believe you were lusting after Nori when you got here, looking at lips or something. Ooh.
I think we were all looking at each other's lips.
You didn't want to kill a skunk, so you put it in a bag. That is kind of a sin and animal abuse in its own way. This just says an all-encompassing lying about stuff. You did lie a lot, and then you did tell a lot of truth, but you wouldn't have to tell a lot of truth if you didn't tell a lot of lies. You know what I mean?
I think they kind of even out.
That's not what this says. Oh, we also have telling the truth is considered a sin because your truth was hurtful. Blatant activism. That one seems a little problematic to have on here. But I'm just accounting the sins. I can't pick. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna pick which one of you I will marry, I guess. I don't know. It seems a little weird, but that's how we're doing it. Twists and turns aplenty, folks. With the masks off, it's now time for Petrilla to choose her life partner. Who will go home with the Dwarven Bachelor? One moment, I'm actually tallying the points, so this is fair.
Oh. I thought we were kind of going on vibes.
Well, I think the vibes and the points match, but I'm just making sure.
I don't know.
Well, no offense, I'm not going to tally your points.
What?
Coming in clutch with the wedding robes.
Yeah.
That was intense. Is this on The Real Bachelor? Do they, get married?
Sometimes in
it ends with a proposal.
Yeah.
That is, so crazy.
Yeah, that's insane, right?
That is truly...
They,
it makes more sense.
They never
because
stay together, but...
Well, yeah. But it's we're oh, this is a fantasy world. It's no, they really do this, and they get married at the end.
Yeah, there's a really famous couple I know that from an earlier season that's been together for a long time.
Okay, everyone. I have made my decision. And I will say, it was a little close there at the end. I'm not gonna lie, I was swayed quite a bit. Obviously, we know it's not Muriel. I just want to throw that out there. It's not her. She's really into the skunks. I'm not blaming her for it, but I don't love her for it.
Muriel fluffs her skunk tail at the camera.
Oh my god.
All right, now it's between Jex and Nori. And you two really put up a good game. I really think you were trying to fight for what was right for me. I'm gonna have to go with... Jex.
Jex turns entirely bright pink, head to toe. Just all bright pink.
Petrilla puts her hand back, and a PA puts a warhammer that looks very similar to hers, but it is actually a carving of her face into it, and they've made a mini version. And she hands it to you, Jex, and is this is a token of my love. And I know we're not gonna jump into it. I'm gonna take it a little slow, but this is your offering. Do you want to come visit the mountain with me and meet me, mommy and daddy?
I'd love to. I'm sure I'm gonna have the best time in your mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And that is how...
Makes everything sound dirty.
And that is how you find love on the Dwarven Bachelor. And Petrilla gives a thumbs up to the camera. We did find love on the Dwarven Bachelor this season. Jex and Petrilla, well, they go on and date for 2 years before Petrilla admits she has strong feelings for Jex, and she pops the question a year later. Jex, do you marry Petrilla?
Hell yeah, I do.
Yes! True love.
Where I'm from, monogamy really never made sense, and just kind of slowly minor illusions a figure that is the longer talking and the more that Petrilla's okay with it, it starts to refine and turns into Nori. Just as it kept going. And it's just so I don't know. I'm flexible in literally every way. So I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. And then just kind of like slowly walks away, looking over his shoulder at like Jex.
You know, I am not opposed to it.
Everybody wins.
It's like lights down on that scene. We cut over to Nori.
So are you guys proposing to bring me in as a third?
I think so, yeah.
That's great because I've been actually looking to build a team to go and defeat the evil whaling gang that's taken over my small fishing village.
You know, I was thinking more like in bed, but we can do in fighting too. That's fine.
Oh, let's do it all.
Great. Nori joins Jex and Petrilla as a throuple, and Petrilla puts a lot of her money towards ending the evil whaling gang and fighting and hitting them with her hammer. Muriel, where do we find you after the show ends?
Well, you heard the truth. I did come here looking for love. And I thought that if I showed my true colors and was brave enough to show Petrilla how passionate I was about what I stand for, that she would still love me. And you know what? If she doesn't, that's okay. I still have my newfound passion for animal activism, and I will continue to fight for the right of these skunks. Petrilla, I wish you the best.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
When the show is over, Nori approaches Muriel about coming and joining on joining her cause that is an actual animal activism cause.
Wait.
They've been poaching all of the whales in our seas for years.
No.
And I love your passion. You're obviously a talented fighter. I need spies. I need a rogue like you to come and help me defeat this gang.
This is exactly the type of thing that I'm trying to do.
Well, I can't invite you into the throuple, but I can invite you to join our party to take down this gang and take my village back.
Do you know what? I fight for the right of alchemical skunks, and now I will fight for the right of these beautiful whales.
Thank you so much, Muriel. I can't believe.
I will gather intelligence to help you defeat these poachers, and I will not insert myself into the throuple. I will respect your personal and physical boundaries.
And that's it for this season of the Dwarven Bachelor.
Oh, wait, I want to ask, can I sneak in? I want to ask if I can sneak in and alter the film to make sure that my activism makes it to the final cut. I want to sneak into the cutting room floor, like the studio, and make sure
Roll a stealth check.
that it gets in. Okay.
Dang.
Okay. 17.
Yeah, you do it.
I
I rolled a nat one, so yeah.
Yes! Oh, their security is terrible. It's like I don't even have to work
Great.
for it.
You edit the film and get what you want.
But I edit it honestly. All I do is put my activism scenes in. I leave the full story for the world to see.
Perfect.
For the realm to see.
Jex, what was your...
I want to propose something. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut, but it at least is on the cutting room floor of like, cut to like mid talking head. It's like the middle, like Jex is already talking. It's in like pre-filming interviews, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I saw Petrilla years ago. I'm pretty sure she doesn't remember me. I was just a baby ooze back then. I'm super excited to be here. Like, the way I see it, this is a game, and I love games. But more than that, I love to win. And like they say, all's fair in love and war.
And that's it for this season of the Dwarven Bachelor. How did y'all feel about playing the Dwarven Bachelor? Thoughts, feelings?
That was so much fun.
It was so
Oh,
fun.
that was amazing.
I love Jex so much.
Me too.
I was obsessed with Jex. And I was trying not to be like, Jex like legitimately won point-wise, so I don't want you to think that like I don't even think it was like, oh, Kelly was the guest, like they made her win, or oh, Olivia liked Kelly, Jex the best. Jex legitimately won point wise because Jex was playing a smart game, but
Jex also won in our hearts.
Yeah.
I can't believe the little Jello won.
I know. I was like going through the races and I like stopped on Plasmoid and I was like, oh, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. Are you kidding?
It was so perfect.
Also, I mean, everything changed because I only rolled well on Wild Magic. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
I really wanted to turn into a potted plant. I'm kind of sad I didn't. But like that, at one point I was writing 8 hit points for a while.
Yeah.
That is one bad roll on the magic table away from just instant death.
True.
Oh, I know. I was like, when you were like, I want to roll Wild Magic, we've only had bad experience. So I was like, yeah, you can, because that'll make it so fun and scary.
It just buffed you like 5 times.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was amazed.
Love Wild Magic. I love it so much.
Yeah,
This was so. I would like totally recommend this one shot / mod.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. It feels like it'd be really fun to drop into an existing campaign.
That's kind of
As, like,
it was
a
kind
one-off?
of written like you could. It definitely like you could drop it right into your campaign and then like keep going. And it definitely went like more in depth. I like the crafting was a little bit more in depth. Like you had more time to think of it and then we do something else, but we just time-wise, I was like, oh my god.
This would be so cool for a kind of like medium-sized campaign where we actually started with like 12 players and like did week by week, like dropping everyone out.
Yeah.
That would
be
fun.
so much fun. Maybe
I
not
like that it
12.
lets
That would be
you-
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe.
I like that it uses a bunch of like other skills.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was like
Yeah.
combat, but then there was also a lot of charisma stuff. There's a lot of like really creative stuff, and then also like crafting, which never comes up.
Yeah.
And that had me looking at, and I was like, I have no tool proficiencies. I speak 4 languages, but I have no tool proficiencies.
I know. It's like if we played a lengthened version of this, I would definitely be like, okay, we're like gonna get into the crafting shit and like make
Yeah.
you think through it
Yeah.
of like what you could successfully do. But I also think it's fun on the other side of being like, you can make anything. You just have to like tell me like what you need for it.
Yeah.
When I play, I love combat, but I love skills checks encounters or stuff that I can really like think through. And like you guys got rewarded a lot in the point system for just like creative choices because I didn't expect a lot of what you guys did. Like the sabotaging, I really thought somebody was going to do the classic like, can I steal her for a second and like just try to get in there? And then everybody did really creative stuff. So just know that I was very liberal with the points on my end.
That was such a good move, Lily. Like,
Thank you.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, there's going to be no
Yeah.
drama. We're all going to be like
Don't-
really nice to
yeah,
each other.
Don't worry.
Yeah, that was
But I
so
did not
creative.
have that. I did not have that planned.
No, it was really creative.
Oh.
It was a great move.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, then like trying not to metagame, but being like, I need to know how Jex can find this out. I need Jex
Yeah.
to figure this out. Otherwise, the sabotage is a real dick move. Okay.
I was having so much fun because I always play characters who are really nice because that's what I like. It's so fun. That's what I like to do. But I never play characters who are kind of sneaky and would sabotage anyone.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
I thought the zone of truth move was really
Oh
smart.
yeah.
I saw that I had that in there and I was like, oh God, I hope I get to use that.
So good.
That was so smart to like for
Yeah.
this setting to have zone of truth.
No, you can
I had
go
a bunch of like charisma based. I had like friends. I had charm person, but I was like, they only last for a minute. And so I was like, that's
Oh.
really useful against other things. And that's honestly potentially what I was going to use to sabotage. But then I was like, someone's going to know.
Yeah.
Someone's going to know.
No, your thing was genius. And it was so fun.
Mine
The
were-
cartoon skunk. Yes, it was so funny.
Minor Illusion is genuinely one of my favorite spells in the game as a cantrip because of what you can make it do.
Yeah.
And as soon as you were like in ears, and I was like, oh yes, perfect.
Well, and I felt it was perfect, like also for like a reality TV setting, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
they still see it or hear it. You know, like if you used it like to
Yeah.
mess also like with in the cameras, I was like, oh, that's genius. And there's no like, spell slots, right? It's like a cantrip.
Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
also that meant I didn't have to roll, which
Exactly.
anytime I was casting, I was like, am I going to risk fireballing myself? Okay.
I know. Well,
Oh yeah, that's true.
that's why I love the wild magic, because I know some people, it's a divided issue, but I love it because I think it makes you have to really think when you use a spell, which like in my head, I'm like, if magic was real, I feel like you should have to think about it before you'd use it.
Yeah.
So I always like it because you have to consider of like, damn, is this worth going completely hairless on my entire body for the next 24 hours? Like that's happened to Campbell before as a Kenku.
I was playing a Kenku and all of my feathers popped off.
Oh no!
I was like
yeah.
a plucked chicken.
One of my favorite things to give to my players, I have fights set in places with wild magic tables.
Ooh.
So anytime they cast a spell, they have to roll. And then the wizard found a like flask, and every time you drink from it, you rolled on the wild magic table. And so she drank like 3 doses in a row, and the boat got caught on fire, and also all of their hair fell out, and they turned blue. Like 3 in a row.
Could be
was
worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My other favorite thing that Jex did was the mating call.
Yes.
That's so classic.
That
I
was
love
so
it.
good.
So yeah, we also do. I don't want to give roses because that steals from another podcast. But we do A+ and flunks. So just like something you
the
like.
Bachelor can be rose. Or who
Yeah.
does rose?
What do you give a rose?
Who is it that we're stealing?
Yeah.
Who does
Nad
rose?
pod.
Oh,
I don't think they're gonna care, but
on their short rest?
yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
I've only
That's
listened to
also
the
a-
first one.
We'll give roses and thorns instead of A. But it's just like something you liked, and then something that like.
Well, what do they give you on The Bachelor if you do bad?
You get sent home.
Okay,
elimination.
Okay, so we'll do roses and then we'll send something home.
Okay, that's good. Roses and send something home.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a rose to Lily because I know that Lily really likes to win things. So I think you get a rose for, I thought you pivoted so beautifully where like you could tell that like you're just like your entrance was your entrance didn't go amazing, that like things weren't lining up, and I feel like you pivoted really well, that you were like, I'm still gonna be a part of this story, but like winning the love of Petrilla isn't the goal anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought it turned really interesting because I think that opened you up to like lying and sabotaging, whereas like I think if you were Lily playing to win like her love, I don't know if you would have made the same decision. So I thought that was super interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kelly, you don't know how competitive I am, but this was big for me. It's serious. Oh, and what are you sending home?
I'm sending home. It has written in there that Bliss Harrington is like commentating way more, like everything. He is just like above it. I think it would have made it harder to kind of balance making sure like we could all hear each other. So I think there was a reason I didn't do it, but I think if I ran it again, Bliss Harrington would be like just like comically
Like,
commentating.
Over narrating.
Yeah.
Always there.
I will give a rose to Campbell for that Zone of Truth spell because that was so clutch and such a like creative use of like Zone of Truth as a offensive spell. It reminded me of like Adventure Zone, which is at every turn, Merle is just like Zone of Truth, and you're like, why? But then sometimes it works so well, and that was clutch.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I am going to send home actually all of my rolls on the wild magic table because although were really great for me, I was like, I wanted to get something like crazier, and every time I got buffed.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is great logistically, and I'm also competitive, and I was like, this is fabulous for Jex. But like, I was like, I can, a lot more can happen. I kind of wanted to turn blue because that's why I made Jex pink.
Oh, yeah. That would have been good.
My rose is for you, Kelly, and it's the way that you played Jex was like, it was like not seductive. Everything that Jex said, or like the tramp stamp, it was like, okay, that actually is like working. So the fact that you like made a character who was like, I don't know, the fact that you made it work.
A sexless character, so
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah, that's
Thank
exactly
you.
what
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to say. That is my rose. I loved it. And oh, what am I sending home? I am sending home the fact that I think I could have rizzed Petrilla up more at the beginning. And I think I should have maybe I don't know. I think I should have gone a little bit harder at
You
the
also
start.
went first, which
Yeah.
is really hard.
It's true. It is hard. But I wish that I'd come on stronger so that I had farther to fall.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm sending home.
You don't want your ending to change. You just wish you could have fallen further from glory.
Yeah, I wish that I could have really started out in her good graces.
Oh my god.
I do feel bad that I hurt her.
You should.
So
I will say on Jex, I define Jex sexuality as yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is something of because I've seen people like this, and I did copy this, of saying completely filthy things and no one can tell if they know that it's filthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at all times you're just constantly, so you just pay more attention to them because you're like, are you do you know what you're saying? Know. Yeah.
I was obsessed with it. The little plasmoid or whatever.
Pseudopod?
The pseudopod. That's what. No, yeah, you are a plasmoid with the pseudopod.
yeah.
Every time that came out, I was like, "That's fucking genius." When you're like, "It's 6 inches wide," I was like, "No fucking way."
It goes up to 10 feet long, y'all. 10 feet long. I was like, that gets into some weird stuff that I don't want to deal with right now, but a couple feet gets the point across.
I was like, damn, Jex. Jex came to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
do you got, Campbell?
I give a rose to Kelly immediately hearing get creative. She's not impressed. She's getting bored and just throwing a skunk across the room.
Oh yeah.
That was so good. You could have been oh, I do this beautiful spell to try and impress her. You were like, no, I throw it across the room and immediately kill both skunks in the process. That was great. I'm going to send home the fact that I guess I didn't know dwarves don't like water. I made a water genasi, which is funny, I guess. So I guess I should send it home. I loved it.
I kind of also made it up to kind of put you in the shit. I mean, they might. I was just also using context. So it was they live in the mountains.
Yeah.
They probably don't see a lot of water.
And they wear heavy armor, so it's
yeah, and they're short and stout. So I doubt that swimming is their specialty.
They could float.
Maybe, or they could sink like a rock.
Okay, well then I send home reusing puns and not just coming up with better ones.
The puns were so good.
So many.
I was, there were a lot of them. Did you write them down first?
I did.
I saw you looking at your screen sometimes, and I was like, well, wait a minute.
I'm not as good. I'm not a pun master like you. You can whip them out.
I can whip them out when it's not. I can whip it out in a home game.
I just knew it was something that I wanted her to do, and I was like...
I loved it.
Yeah.
The one that got me was emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional?
Perfect for The Bachelor. Water genasi on The Bachelor. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
I loved your comedic use of you. I know you just sent home reusing them, but the repetition, the comedy of the repetition was so funny.
Okay. It was funny because it made it seem like it was just how you talk.
Yeah.
You were I'm making a clever pun. It was a dialect.
Yeah.
The amount of times you said shellfish, I just every single time it got me harder until by the end I was like, oh no, I can see it coming.
My other send home for myself is that at the end I was gonna, and I forgot, I meant to say this, whenever you asked me to come be on the whaling expedition, or the opposite, I guess the poaching expedition, I meant to be Muriel realizes that the skunks were an invasive species, and she's like, oh, thank God, some actual, something that would be beneficial to the environment. She was gonna, I meant to admit that the skunks was kind of a bust. But, oh well. I guess I never will admit my wrong.
I don't think she would. She seems like a girl who sticks to her guns.
Yeah, it would have been out of character, so it's a good thing I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, this was very fun. I'm glad I picked it. I'd been envisioning for a while, Kelly. I was like, God, we got to play The Bachelor in D&D. I was like, I don't know when. I don't know how we're gonna do it. And then just recently, we've really started with more guests on the show, just because that's part of we want to build community and play new games, and we can't build community with just the 4 or 5 of us at a table. So that's part of our big mission this summer. So yeah, when you guys reached out, I was like, this is perfect. We're gonna play The Bachelor. And again, we're going to have that linked down in our show notes. So if you guys want to play it, go purchase it from the DMs Guild. I think it was either pay what you can or like $5, $10, really not a lot. It is very like robust. Like I think it's the first session. I'm used to homebrewing all of my stuff. So the amount of planning that went into this was very minimal. Like I just like got my little NPC pictures and I was like, damn, that's it. Or I changed out some things. You guys were supposed to fight giant rats and I felt like that was boring. And
I'm so glad it was alchemical skunks. Oh
yeah,
my god. I can't believe that's like a...
I've had alchemical skunks. I found them on Pinterest. That's where I find all my monsters.
Would you say this is good for like a beginner DM?
I would. It is a little... There is a lot to balance in terms of like character play because it is kind of role play heavy, but I also think there is a version of this that is less role play heavy and like because they give you a pretty robust point system of like this is how high they have to roll and they get -1, -5, +1, +5. So you could play it without the role play and more description wise and I think it would work, but me personally I'm like I must play everything out in real time and then give them points. But I think you could pick it up and read it through 3 times. And if you're a beginner, you could definitely figure it out. Like, it would be a good test of, like, how many different characters can I have? I also added the PAs.
They were funny.
It just, like, mentioned...
They were great.
Yeah. It just mentioned, like, producers can pull them to the side and encourage them to sabotage, but it, like, wasn't a character. And I came up with them in my head, and I was like, I think we need 2 little, like, hooligans who can, like, really stick their hands in if they need to. Or, like... They could just disappear and not be in there.
I'm glad that they were like full characters.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. I like that they very much played favorites, but the favorite was whoever was in front of them.
Exactly.
Yep.
It was like whoever would cause the most drama.
So it was exciting. Now, speaking of things that we recommend, Kelly.
Hey.
I would love to talk more about the Tabletop Town app. I know you mentioned...
I know, it gets caught with the 3 T's in a row.
I know, I've been like... I keep being so confident that I'm going to say it right, and then the T's like trip me up. Yeah, I'm so curious about like the asynchronous casual play style that it's kind of bringing to the forefront, and why like... I know you spoke about it a little bit at the beginning, but more of like why you think that's a need kind of in this community.
Kind of the biggest thing, because we get a lot of questions on like how that's going to work, and if it is possible to have that work. So it already exists. Basically every TTRPG website or any like social media platform or channel has like TTRPGs going on it. There are entire sections, they're play by post, they're in forums, so people play in massive ongoing games that are entirely written and that are through generally pretty lyrical, long form descriptive posts. You get a lot of DMs playing that way and a lot of English majors, and I do believe those overlap. I am both, and sometimes it shows. But that also kind of comes and has its roots way back in like at the beginning of AOL chat rooms. There was an entire like Pokemon TTRPG that happened. That was like kind of intense, and it goes all the way back to like play by mail, where like people played chess over like 2 letters back and forth. Like it's very much like a direct through line. We're just now making it mobile and text messaging rather than entire giant forum posts. So that's to say this is around already. It's not we didn't come up with this and say this is going to work. I promise you, there's no evidence. I think it's the fact that a lot of people, like, the biggest problem with ongoing games, and you see this in the amount of memes it shows up in, is scheduling. Like trying to schedule this was hard. Trying to schedule games on an ongoing basis is almost impossible. I've been playing for 3 years with the same group, and this summer I think we're playing 3 times because life happens and we're adults and things get busy. Especially when you're like, okay, I need you to prioritize sitting every week for 3 to 6 hours. And I need you to do nothing else. Thank you. That's just almost impossible. And so instead, having it through basically showing up on your phone in text messaging, it's completely asynchronous. So you can pick it up, you can put it down, and the game can keep going. It'll be slightly slower, but the game can kind of go forever. So it looks like chat messages coming through, but then there's also integrated full character sheets with dice rolling. There's going to be a map system coming very soon, just not quite at launch. And then the entire rule system as well is stored on your phone. So you can reference things, you can pull things up. As a DM, it's a lot easier, let me just say, when you can reference things. I've played 1 game of D&D in person in my whole life. I've been playing virtually online, and even when I do play in person, I'm so not used to having physical books to look up because I can't hit Control F.
Yep.
And being able to do that is a game changer. And so having rules as reference is super handy. There is a bunch of stuff kind of, if you want to check out our website, tabletop.town, that has like what it's going to look like and what that's going to do. But basically you navigate it through pulling up tiered and like buttons and cards on a screen. So everything is like easily accessible. And at launch, we're going to have the 5e SRD set. And so like the very basic rule system of 5e, which is free. We're also going to have the full amount of Pathfinder and Starfinder available. And then we're getting kind of our first season of creators. So beach day themed types of things for launch in summer. So everything is going to be kind of beach themed for the featured content.
Exciting.
Yeah, and we're going to be releasing...
Fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be cute as hell. We have some merch coming out that include a beholder in sunglasses, and every single eye has sunglasses.
That's so smart.
It's adorable. And then every day we're going to be releasing something new on the marketplace.
I'm super excited. I was a kid talking about the long forum style, like kind of role play games. I remember when I was a kid, I definitely did that on like, it was like a website where you like also built a horse, but there was like a forum system. So everybody'd be like, here's your Warrior Cats RP. And you just, long form, write it out. So this is really bringing that back. And I thought I'd never share that secret. And now I'm doing it for everybody to hear.
I knew that about you, and I didn't want to be like, hey, Olivia, talk about your horse thing.
I did wolves on Instagram. I did Homestuck on Tumblr, and then I did Wolf Home. It was like a similar like forum chat. Yeah.
So this like
horse role play.
So this like makes sense. It's like, oh, now we can just do it with the other things we love, which is like D&D and stuff.
Yeah.
This is
it's
cool.
that, except now you have character sheets.
Exactly.
So cool. Yeah.
Now there's like rules. I can't be like, my wolf does this.
My wolf kills you.
I really think we're gonna probably promote this hard in our Discord, because I feel like this is something that a lot of people would like, an alternative to like if you can sit down, great, but also you could run a separate game or the same game asynchronously.
How people in our Discord who meet and don't I don't know, like don't have the same schedules.
Yeah,
but
or
they think
time
that they would be
zones
together.
too.
Yeah, or time zones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem is time zones, genuinely.
Yeah, we've noticed that scheduling guests. We have a lot of guests. I don't know where you are from, but we have a lot of guests in LA, and it's always like 2 hours ahead of us.
I'm West Coast. Yeah. West Coast.
Yeah.
So what? It's like after 7:30ish for you there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like 9:40 for us. So it's always like
No, don't worry. This was our plan for tonight.
No. Like, but it's like us, like our evening is like that weird early afternoon for like the other time zones. So like, yeah, we definitely feel that. I was curious on how the player network works, because I know something that like we've found with Gals and Goblins that we don't have a solution for, but I know we've talked about it, like, we want to connect our community with other players, and like, how do they find when they listen to the podcast and they're like, I love that, I'd love to play my own game, but we don't have, other than our Discord where they could like organically meet people. So I'm curious to see like how the Tabletop Town app fills that.
Yeah. So keep in mind, at launch, there is going to be a full app and marketplace and creator tools so game designers can build things. There's a lot more functionality coming after launch, because that is the way that apps work. Yeah. So there's going to be some stuff I talk about that is not available right after this comes out. There is you can find friends on the app and connect with them and like get usernames and connect with them, and then also build games from your friends list. We are also going to have open games. So if you want to just start a game and you're looking for people to fill it out, you can basically say, hey, I'm starting a game, and then you can go and search for open games by rule system and feel like, okay, I'm trying to join this. Here we go. With all of this in mind, we are building safety tools into the app.
Perfect.
So both lines and veils. So saying like, these are the kinds of things I do not want in my game at all. And these are the kinds of things I can have, but cannot be forefronted. And then also having that as a filter system to find games. That includes also basically a rating system. Like think like video games, movies, anything like that. And so then you can kind of pick what tier you're at. And if you're like, this is a hard no for me, you can just have any games that have that as like, this is going to potentially be in this game. You can just filter that out.
Nice.
Amazing.
Once you're in a game, then you can also throw down an X card, or a GM can request it at any time and say like, hey, how's everyone feeling? Do a kind of an anonymous check-in. or you can just play a card and you're like, I'm not okay with that. We need to back up. We need to move on, whatever it is. It is anonymous in the chat. The GM sees who it's from because otherwise they kind of like need to know that. But in the chat, it is completely anonymous, so no one else sees it.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Because I fought really hard for that because I was like, I don't want to be telling a bunch of people I've never actually physically met before what my triggers are. That seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of trying to figure out the way of like keeping everyone safe, but also kind of respecting privacy. And so kind of, and then also we look to ultimately have the ability to hire GMs to run games for you and have professional GMs in the app. So either you can just start an open game and be like, we're looking for players, we're looking for GMs, and then people can sign up. Or you can say, I'm looking to have someone run a game for us and hire a GM through the app itself. And they would be on the marketplace along with writers and game designers and artists.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think trying to meet people is always going to be really hard. I mean, it's the same way as an adult trying to make new friends is always hard. Where you're like, I don't know. And I work from home now. Most of my friends work remote. So it's like you can't even meet people at work anymore. So you're just kind of like, cool, I'm going to go hang out places, I guess.
Yeah.
So virtually it's kind of the same thing. It's not the perfect solution, I think, but it at least lets you kind of filter and find people to play with. And I do think that playing TTRPGs with people is a shortcut to friendship.
Yes.
And so I think there's going to be some times where you're playing games with people you don't know, but then you can also talk in and out of character, which can kind of help like getting to know everyone. And
that's awesome.
This sounds so... I cannot wait for this to come out.
This is so cool.
I'm so excited to explore everything that you guys are going to have on here. And then also like what's to come after. After it's
I am
released.
really proud of the work we put in. We were originally going to launch with a map system and only D&D. And then everything kind of that happened with the OGL went down and all the kind of drama. And we thought, okay, it makes just more sense to not have our entire value tied to one game system, whatever that game system is.
Yes.
And so we really prioritize system agnostic capabilities so we can have any game system kind of imported into the app or created. We're going to have an entire system for game designers where you don't need coding experience, but you can build out an entire game system in the app.
Amazing.
So cool.
And
wow.
that meant that we can't have maps at launch.
Yeah.
But we thought theater of the mind works, especially at the beginning, but ultimately you're going to be able to draw maps onto your screen and basically draw and fill them in and then have people like tokens and avatars interact on them.
Cute.
That's so
fun.
Yeah, I love like just like how robust you're explaining the app, like, and even though it's not all going to be ready at launch because that's a lot to get ready, it's so exciting to me to see that like that can be kind of the future of the TTRPG game of like, I just love all the things you're including, so it's like this can kind of be a one-stop shop for people because I sometimes I'm overwhelmed like as a GM, like I think I have like 7 tabs open, like initiative trackers I work off like
it's only 7?
Yeah. Well, because I also work off a written notebook and my iPad. Like I have the amount of things that I like have to like keep everything going. So it sounds really cool to have something more centralized and you can refer to everything in one place. Sounds really exciting.
So one of the things, because we get asked like we get asked mainly by people who don't play TTRPGs, but like if this is such a good idea, why has no one done it? And it's actually, and like, this is how our app works. Until pretty recently, there was no way to navigate tons and tons of screens on your phone easily and logically and pulling up a lot of specific information.
Yeah.
Weirdly, it's a lot of the navigation from things like Instagram and Snapchat have really changed how we are used to navigating different screens and pulling through and swiping.
Yes.
And kind of can take that type of functionality and directionality. And so suddenly we have like an entire like app that can navigate with like swipes. And so you can find things and ultimately bookmark things and be able to like produce roles and favorite them and stuff like that.
Oh,
that's really cool. And I also love that it's going to normalize and like encourage people to use like lines and veils and like stuff like that. That like specifically, that's really exciting to me that more people will kind of be like accustomed to using those tools to help them in their games.
That was an interesting thing. I mean, I've always had a session 0 in my games, but when I was a player for the first time, our GM, who was a really good friend of mine, who I really like and respect, but he's a guy and he just sees things differently. And there was like like encounter my player had, or my character had, and he didn't read it as, he read it as like vaguely creepy. And I was so in person, like creeped out by it. And he like, you know, it didn't go any farther and we stopped and it was like totally fine. But like, it never even occurred to him because he read it as like vaguely threatening. And I was like, a man in the middle of the night came and wrote my name on my own window. Like,
horrifying.
Yeah.
Yes, it was completely horrifying and creepy and gross and violating.
Too real.
Too real.
Yeah. It's
And-
like, oh,
and, like,
maybe to you
because-
that is a fantasy encounter, but to me that is a thing that could
happen.
have
That is
happened.
a too real potentiality. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had that trust system set up. And so we were able to, for me to just be like, hey, like, that's it. Like, I can't. And he did. And we like backed off. And, but like, when I was like thinking of like getting new friends together and also just people who aren't used to role play. Like there can be an experience where you're like, I'm totally fine with this. And then it happens for the first time and you're not used to how intense and emotionally it can feel. And you're like, oh no, I need to stop right now.
Yeah.
And having a system set up for that in game to be like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
it'll encourage people to have those conversations up front.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the tool. I do like some intimacy work when it comes to theater. So there's a lot of like crossover. And I think the idea of like having like a card, you know, that they can virtually throw down. There's kind of a similar thing in like stage intimacy called like you just say the word button and it's instead of saying no. So it's kind of fun to see like you don't have to be like confrontational to like stand up for your boundaries. Like there's different ways that you can do it. And I feel like the virtual setting is a nice intro to that of like, oh, I can just click this button.
Yeah.
There's no consequence. It stops. Or like, oh, only one person sees this just because like they have to, you know, for it to be corrected. So I really like that system. And I think I know we kind of take it for granted. We play at a table with like the same exact people and we played a pretty tame table too that like we don't have to, you know, go over like boundaries and lines and veils a lot. But it is a real thing of like if you're going to play with random people. You should probably, you know, at least have a little check sheet that somebody can be like, okay, got it.
And be
Exactly.
encouraged by the system you're using.
Yeah.
Like to say
set them.
stop or to say like this is what I want.
To have a really easy, like not dramatic way. To be able
Well, and for me, it was also having things that like people don't think of as like thing of like, are you okay with alcohol being in the game?
Yeah.
Are you okay with flirting in character, flirting out of character? Like being able to have everything like spelled out. Like, are you okay with like swearing? What level of that? Like being able to like fine tune that with people you don't know is like super important. And then long term, we're looking to also have basically different modes. So fully asynchronous and like remote. And then also kind of like hybrid campaign play where you can be like, okay, we actually made it to a table and we're all able to like be, or we're all able to be on camera at the same time, whatever. And then it just prioritizes different things so you can see things more easily, so you can easily kind of play in person.
Cool.
And then kind of just drop a recap block. And then also at conventions and have like a convention mode and have it so you can like meet people and like scan their code basically and then immediately like join a campaign on the floor.
That's cool.
And like as an intro for it of like, okay, you've never played a TTRPG, you want to get started right now, you don't even have to stay at our table, you can keep walking around.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm so excited you guys reached out to us because I think our listeners are gonna love it. I think we're gonna love it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I think you guys sent us we have a special Gals and Goblins landing page that you guys
you do.
we can visit, and then I believe they fill out that little information and they'll get a notification when the app is actually live. I'm correct?
So yes. And also I believe, if you sign up, you'll get notification when it's live, but you also will get a link if you're interested to join our beta test.
Well, I know that we're super excited and we're so glad you came on and had fun with us.
This was so much fun. Thank you guys.
Good.
And I mean, I love playing, which is always nice, but this was delightful.
I'm glad you
And I
liked
love listening
it.
to your guys' show.
Oh,
So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, soon you'll get to listen to yourself, which is always a fun
Hey.
experience
what I've always wanted to do.
that we all do for many hours every week over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've like become desensitized to it. Like
Yeah.
I used to hate, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I hate the sound of my own voice, and now it's like, I love it. I'm trying to listen to Gals and Goblins.
I really love public speaking, but then anytime I get recorded public speaking, I'm always like, that's okay. Yep.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
You're like, never. I don't need to hear it
Just
back.
kidding. But yeah, you were a wonderful guest. Thanks for rolling with all of our punches. I know sometimes I get worried. I'm like, I know it's a little scary that just being like, hey, now we're going to play together and then, everybody's going to listen to this. But I thought you did fabulous. Jex was adorable. I love Jex.
I love Jex. I think we're gonna have more fan art of Jex than like of our like running characters.
I did fall in love with Jex as well, and I found a little avatar token that is just like pink goo, like holding his hands up to her
Yes.
face, just like, and I was like, yes, this is correct.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Okay, well, I think we've held you hostage long enough, Kelly.
I'm gonna go get my dog from my neighbor.
I was about to say your dog has to. come home.
He got picked up from daycare because his best friend lives down the street. So the owners picked both of them up, and now
Thank
he's
you
just
for
at their
staying.
house.
Thank you for staying
thank
longer. Check out all the links of everything we talked about in the Tabletop Town app. That'll be in our show notes. It'll be plastered over our social media. It'll be in our Discord. And yeah, that's gonna be it for us. So bye and kisses from the gals.